And welcome back for our second session of High Vibe Channeling on this February 12th, 2026. We just finished off with the Andromedans and or whoever, I don't know if that's plural, I'm guessing that was plural. And now we're moving into the Tall Whites who wish to talk to us about our attachments. And we're just going to go right into them and see what they have for us. And we thank you for coming into this interaction. And we are grateful that you have opened up for us and not merely for our message, but your minds and in some ways your hearts. For we are connected in other ways, as all beings are in the Earth collective experience. It is a special bond of all energies which have densified or experienced this dense realm. A badge of honor, you might say, amongst the many types of beings who know of this realm. And indeed, we are talking about your attachments, but they are attachments to your earth, your Mother Earth. We wish for you to experience more of those, to draw those into your identity. Many of your past thinkers have dwelled upon that. They have heard their voice in the babbling of the brooks. They have felt the whispers flow through the branches and the leaves of the trees as that same breeze caressed their arms. They have heard the sunrise in their minds and felt its warmth upon their face and identified with it. Now, those are not mere analogies, those are actual combining of the senses, of the energies of the earth with your experience. The Native Americans do that as a rite of passage. They do not have to earn it, nor do you, but they accept it and bring it into their being. The vast majority of them, anyway, for it is innate in their teaching, in their lineage, in the genealogy, and beyond, in your human terms. Part of that knowing and identification. You are all aware of the elementals and the different spirits you acknowledge which exist on and in your planet. It is those we wish for you to identify with, to form attachments to build a connection with, for that is the way of your future. You will get to know the individualized consciousness portions of the many expressions of your realm. The channel is aware of many of the wind spirits. And once he had acknowledged and understood one, then the others came more readily to him. For they understood that while he cannot know them in a grander, expansive fashion, his quest for knowing of them and attempting to put labels on them, to differentiate them, or to help him further differentiate them, not only by their physical characteristics and energy resonance, but to help form a memory of them. So it would trigger something in his brain, in his mind, when he experienced it again. Many of you have those bonds with particular waters you have experienced, the sacredness of them. You see the scenery, and yet there are certain elements of it which strike you more than others. You see the pictures of the mountains and the trees and the stream and the critters within it, and each of you may be focused on a different aspect. You may feel the oneness of the pines. You may feel the glory of skittering amongst the branches of the squirrels or the birds. You may feel the majesty and the totality of the mountains or the crisp air. We urge you to try to encompass them all, for you are coming into being where that is more than a possibility. It is a near solidified fact. But it is up to you individually, collectively, to take that step, to set that intention, to hear the whispers of the grass, to understand more of the songs of the birds, to feel the joy, the love of the sunrise or the stars. They are not just things in your environments. They are connections waiting to be joined with you. They are the attachments which will serve you. For in the decades to come, your planet will be a unified consciousness in not only form, but in expression. And there will be a vast network of communications between many types and many forms of consciousness, like the wee folk, like the moss, like the elementals, like the stars, the moon, your sun. And we wish for you to make way, to hold those energies in your heart, and to take pause when you encompass them and they speak to you, even if it means interrupting your conversations, which has happened to all of you. Something strikes you and you are just in another world. And at times people will say, "Are you okay?" And you say, "Oh, I'm just thinking." No, you are feeling, you are connecting. That is the emotion. That is the energetic memory we wish for you to build upon. And if you have to, in your social structures, put a finger up and say, "One moment." You can ask them to join. Do you feel that? And that may open them up, but more than likely in your human experience, They are curious about what you are feeling and not looking at feeling or experiencing that themselves. But it will give you time to identify and revel in that energy, in that connective moment. And we are delighted you all understand that our expressions, our examples have been received. And if you have questions, although we have more to add, we will be happy to take them. And we appreciate you and them as well. We must have been a very good teacher in this lesson for all of you to have learned it so thoroughly already. And the humor aspect is new on us. It is not our way, but it is our way of integrating ourself and you into us. Part of that is through the adaptation of your behaviors and in ways your thought processes to help you see us more alike than different, we will say. And there
Greeting.
is, yes,
We are delighted that you are with us tonight. As you were speaking, I had several examples running through my mind of recent experiences with the sun and the birds. And I now know to trust my instinct that they feel all the love and the communication is established.
and we thank you for bringing that forth and for opening up your heart to receive that and trust your experiences. There are many beings besides ours which are helping to guide you to more of those experiences in the hopes that that realization will set in, will be observed, will be felt, and integrated is the term which suits. It is a specialness because it rings true. That's why it resonates with you. It aligns musically, we will say, with the Mother Earth energy, for it is all from her, as in ways you are from her. She supports you. You are created from her. And while you are operated by your own energetic higher realm, you still exist within her as well, and in her heart, and in her memories, and in her being. She loves you greatly. And by honoring those experiences, those feelings, those emotions, those connections of inner stillness and bonding, you honor her as well. That is part of the growth of your societies, of humanity, your race, is understanding and feeling that reverberation of the love she has to share with you. And that will only increase as the harmony and balance of those energies and the consciousness on it is restored to the best it can be. It will never be as it was, as you know of, in the beginning. But there will be other additional energies from your galactic friends and neighbors who are coming in to help aid and fill in those gaps. They may not be filled in with the creatures which have long since vanished from the face of this earth in your experience, but their vibrations will all be filled in other ways so that there are no more gaps. And that is when the unity of purpose, of feeling, of consciousness will take hold as all tap into that wholeness. That is what each of those experiences are. And they help ground and anchor you into more of that frequency. And you emanate that. And by incorporating more of that, you encourage more of those to come to you. You attract them like a magnet. For you feel joy, you feel that connection. And while you may not consider it love, that is exactly what it is. It is the love of Mother Earth coming to you for acknowledging that oneness with your being and with the energies and other beings and consciousness in your experience, in your environment, in your heart.
Thank you very much for this interaction. We appreciate your service to us in this way. It is very helpful and enlightening. So I just wanted to express my gratitude. I have a question. When I go outside, I've done this for several years. When I go outside, I close my eyes and turn my face towards the sun. And I feel the energy, and I actually see different color sparkles, usually green, sometimes red, sometimes both green and red. Um, it's a very real experience for me. I was wondering what that was.
That is an individualized expression. Part of it is restorative energy. And if you ask or direct the energies during that time, they will enhance and propel more of that healing, that direction for you. And those are representations which mean more outside of your physical reality. They can be communications from the sun itself, expressed in a type of Morse code or a specialized code that is impressed upon you, which you are unable to understand, like a language which you have not been taught.
Mhm,
But on a deeper level, in your truer form, you understand what it was for. Sometimes it is for preparation for your bodily cells.
mhm,
Sometimes it is just to imbue you with the energy that you need or to instill some type of knowing, some information,
mhm,
so that you will have it at the ready in the time that it is needed. But overall, it is the sharing and the acknowledgement of the love coming to you.
That's beautiful.
That is how that radiation feels.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, that makes perfect sense, and that's what I had been feeling, that it was some sort of downloads, and it's interesting that I can um, receive that and 5 minutes later do the same action and there are no sparkles. It's as if I had received what I needed for that time period.
There are different methods of expressions for when you receive what you call those downloads or that information or that vibrational resonance, then the other messages will be different.
Mm-hmm.
And all of you can close your eyes and feel that sunlight upon you, and it will reflect to you some of those energies or the biological experiences or those dots or colors or forms or emotions which have come to you. Those are your connective tendrils to those energies, those sources. They are lovingly given to you, and for your world. And you are all not alone in receiving those. And we mean that as individuals or as a race. For every tree, plant, animal knows of those. And when your cats are basking in the sunlight, or your dogs, or other animals, they are drawing in that love and energy and experience.
Mm-hmm.
It is not just a biological happening, it is a spiritual connection.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We are honored.
Thank you for being here with us. Sabadu, Sabadu, Sabadu. E hanaya shami e karana ayatono. Sabadu, Sabadu, Sabadu.
And one day you will know how many you speak for that is more of a regional greeting. You will expand even further. And we think of you for thinking of us. And we likewise send the tidings of the trees and the energy of the land back to you and yours. And we receive your gift as spoken and as unspoken. Ko niata shia ova.
Thank you.
And we shall release you to the rest of your days. And we shall come to you and before you in further meetings of this kind. And you are all important to us and part of our schooling and have helped us to be more fluid and efficient in these interactions. And we are grateful for that. And know that we do appreciate you. And in time, we will come to you more consciously in your dreams to help you acclimate more to our physicalized portions, so that we may indeed meet when it excites you to the proper degree where you will not be afraid and you will not react in ways which are not comfortable for you. And we go to you, but not from you. For we are with you as you are with us on this grand Mother Earth. And may you feel her to the best of your abilities, for you will find us there. I got chills all of a sudden. That was fun, kids.
They had a great energy.
Oh,
They felt really loving.
thank you. And they've come really far. I mean, when they first started talking, they were all halting and, they had no cultural, well, they didn't care about any of that stuff. And now they're trying to play nice so that people warm up to them. And that's one
They
of
really made an effort.
They're doing a good job. They're doing a good job.
the good. Yeah, because a lot of times people will feel cold, when
Mhm.
they see them. It's that kind of experience. And I don't know if they're going to just be adjusting, their vibrational resonance. I'm sure they're going to do whatever is necessary to accomplish whatever experience that they wish to have. But it's just neat to be a part of it. And
Ray,
they
do you
reckon,
know
go ahead.
do you know anything of their planet?
They don't have one.
They don't have one. They're non-physical.
Well, they can choose to be physical.
Okay.
And their basic form for the adults is, an 8 foot tall or taller, and they're wispy. That's
Mhm.
why they like being in the fog and that kind of stuff,
Mhm.
because that is more conducive for their energy and they can go and be themselves without having a lot of beings freak out about them.
Mhm.
It's not like they can't sense, but if they're going to take the energy and condense it enough to have that physical experience, they just don't want to, go back. They want to do it because that's efficient for them. They're putting energy in and they only do what's necessary. So once they get into that form, they want to have their experience and then they will leave. They don't want to have to avoid humans or other things.
Mhm.
That's why they were all accepted, by the indigenous. They were recognized as an energetic being who shared the woods, shared the forest, shared the earth with them.
Mhm.
And I thought it was really interesting that as soon as Arla started talking, so they're like, oh, well, we recognize what part of the earth they're from. And I was like, wow. I never thought of different beings having accents or different types of language like that. That would freak me out from my point of view. I'm like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
And
that was really cool. And the way that they were able to respond to her in her own language, that was very neat.
well, I don't know that it was their language. I
Well,
mean,
and
her language,
hers,
yeah. It was, and I got the sense that it was more of a generic response.
but
No,
it
yeah,
still felt like it was of their language, of her language.
yeah, I'm just sitting back and just letting it all flow through. So I don't know, but it wasn't. I didn't get I didn't get the idea that they were speaking in the language that Arla was speaking in, or in that particular dialect.
Hmm.
That they were doing it in a more universal code that could be
It's,
understood.
yeah.
Is that true, Arla?
Um, yes, partly. Um, it was a public connection um, of me to him.
Mhm.
There is one that, and I think I had said something to Ray about this, that there is one um, that has been coming, and he stands and watches me as if he's protecting's not the correct word, but there within his love and strength and understanding. And in what was spoke, it was a dialect that I would speak if I were them. In other words, it was like I'm almost like I'm calling him.
Mm.
I'm calling his energy,
Mhm.
not like I want you to come here, but more so. And then what came after that was a generalization of speaking about them, I
Mm.
guess, is what you'd say. They, the first time Ray channeled them, I was very, very deeply affected because I've seen them all my life, but I never,
Mhm.
really felt like I needed to know. But I'm kind of I'll know when I need to know. I
Mhm.
acknowledge this, I acknowledge you, and when I am either ready or need to know or whatever, I will.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, it was more of a gift exchange.
yeah, yeah, kind of like that. But that sabadu, uh, when I say that, it's like whoosh, my whole body is just tingling and flowing um and I've been saying it under my breath, not really understanding what I was saying, or it wasn't manifesting in my understanding. I knew what it meant, but Arla, as here in this expression, just knew that it was very comforting for me to say that.
Mhm.
And so this evening, um, he was here in the room with me. I don't know. I was gawking a stick and looking up and things during the time that they were channeling through Ray. But then as they were talking, I don't know how many times I said that under my breath. And then at that point, I couldn't not say it.
Mhm.
It had to be said. So,
And I thought it was really interesting because when they were focused on the connection that we feel in nature,
Mhm.
it it was that activated all of our senses, and we're pulling in the sights and the sounds and the feelings and everything about it, the smells, and we're just getting that in one huge ball of experience, and like we're taking it in, and it's just flowing through our entire body. And even though we're just focusing on the one aspect, I mean, we've probably all heard the babbling brook, and we were just taken. We're just like, no, I just want to sit here for a minute
Mhm.
and absorb that energy. Or the
Yeah.
squirrels playing in the trees, or,
Mhm.
it could be a crow cawing, or it could be
Mhm.
the way the sunlight just happens to come up over the horizon.
Mhm.
And it just captures us and draws us in. And it's like time just expands in those moments.
Mhm.
That's what they're urging us to get more of and bring that in. And
Yes.
to not let those moments go by, to,
Mhm.
dive into them.
yes. And when you were talking about, or when they were talking about the fog and the things, that's where I readily see them. And I have loved fog all my life. But, I've gotten glimpses of them all my life too. Uh, but the fog to me is a magical place where you can walk into the fog, and it's it's a doorway through your heart that takes you wherever
Mhm.
you choose to go.
Mhm.
It's like a hug to me.
Yeah,
They call
yeah.
they call fog wind whispers.
Oh,
It's
neat.
it's weird. I just recently saw a YouTube video talking about how fog, in the fog, you can actually make better connections to spirit and
Mm.
stuff in the fog. And then you guys bring this up. I've never heard that notion before. So that's really interesting. Hmm.
Oddly enough, here in Florida, um, we had a very foggy day today. My husband and I went to the beach of all places, and the sea fog just rolled in at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I believe it's still foggy outside, and
Wow.
that's very
Yeah,
unusual for
that's
Florida.
cool.
Yeah, because I mean, you normally associate it, with not when the full sun is out, especially that far south.
Right. And you would see it frequently just before dawn and
Mhm.
then into dawn. But this was afternoon fog, and that was
Mm.
very unusual.
Neat.
I
And
love the synchronicity
I was
of
Right?
about to
life.
say, it sounds
It's
very
like it's
synchronistic.
just
And then I got
flowing.
me a little tingly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was a prelude to tonight.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And it was so beautiful. Um, you could just see the ripples in the water and then just blending out into the fog. It was just so beautiful.
Oh, and Anita, when you started talking and you were giving all of those compliments, the Andromedans were just saying, spoken like a true mother to her child.
I hope I didn't sound condescending.
No, I mean because they pictured, they're like, oh, we're just like lying in the arms of Mary.
How sweet. Well, I'm glad they felt my love. I I feel like the Andromedans are the uh, Jim Carrey of the extraterrestrials. Kind of like the how through humor a lot of learning can take place. your best teachers in school are the ones that are animated and humorous, and I think that's what they're being like.
I'm just glad that it resonates with all of you because I enjoy it. And to me, I, I just accept it. But like when I say, who wants to come in? And then they say that. And to me, I'm like, I don't know how I know which one it is. I just know which one it is.
Yeah.
And because and I know that's been a question that I've been asked before, and I'm sure lots of other channelers have too. I was going to say, Wanda,
There,
what's coming through the screen at us for a minute? But but yeah, but it's just I just know. And
Mhm.
yeah.
I guess it's something.
Do you also just know what message they're going to bring through?
Well, if they tell me,
Hmm.
I just had no idea what that was. I thought they were going to chastise me for not relaying what their message was. But I guess because I gave it beforehand, because they were on me, they're like, "Oh yeah, wh- I honestly thought that they were going to say something about, oh yeah, well he didn't want to pass the message along." But I guess because I did, they skipped that part.
I've said that to the grandmothers before. Do I really have to say this? So, yes, you do. Because you're not saying it, we are. So it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
And but it might just be that that's usually all I get is the title. Well, I knew that the tall whites were going to talk about the attachments to the earth energies, and they weren't talking about our attachments to our jobs or our beliefs or stuff like that, because that's
Mhm.
not their focus.
Now,
Mhm.
see, you didn't say that. You just said attachments in the announcement. So I was here all ready to hear about attachments. And then when they were talking about the earth, I'm like, oh, okay. This
Yeah,
is
well, I mean,
totally
that's
different
that's all they,
topic.
well, that's what they gave me originally, so that's what I said. And then I was thinking about what that is, and they were like, no, it's not human attachments, it's earthly attachments to the humans.
Mhm. Well, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm glad it happened because I got great imagery from that, especially, hearing the water and feeling the water and the
Mhm.
vibrations that come off of it, because
Mhm.
they sense things so much differently, so different than what we do. They have expanded senses because they are part of that earth energy.
Mhm.
They're part of the earth energy more than other extraterrestrials.
They were here for helping form the earth before earth came, like the Sasquatch energy.
Wow.
The tall whites. Wow, I never knew that. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
And the earth energy was created special. Because it's a mix of so many other different energies just for
Mhm.
this experiment. So
Mhm.
so many other beings could get their hands and their experiences in this forgetfulness, this density, and have a place where they could learn and grow and play that was this far removed from anything else they've ever experienced. This is
Wow.
truly a grand experience.
So Earth is as much a hybrid as humans are?
I guess that depends on perspective. But I mean,
Mhm.
well, just think of there's probably a couple 100,000 different energies and races and beings which helped create the earth. Because once the idea came and was formed, then they had all of these other forms of consciousness that were allowed to inject their ideas in within it. Like it was the framework, and somebody says, "Oh, I'm a beetle. I want to have different types of beetles, and I'm going to
Mhm.
differentiate in all of these types." And
Mhm.
somebody else says, "Oh, well, that was a good idea. Well, I'm going to differentiate in these types of things, and they'll look like beetles, but they're going to perform like other things, but they're of my energy." And that's why we have so many different critters.
Mhm.
And some of them look the same and they act completely different. And they all have their own personalities because they're all looking to expand in new ways that they couldn't before.
Yeah. And some of them have um, a representation of a Star Nation person, a physicality, if you will, such as the Mantis people, just for one example. And many of the beings that are here do have that connection to a specific being. Not all of them do, because just not all of them do. But as the earth was birthed, and even before the earth was birthed, these star beings and Kashima's people, which are star beings basically, many of them came together to talk about this birthing of the earth and what that purpose was going to be.
Wow.
And one of the things that Kashima and the other star beings and the grandmothers had talked with me about was that even the waters came from different places and were brought here like you would bring a seed and all put together, and they grew into what they are. The stone people, it was the same way. So is the Earth Mother a hybrid? She's part of everything. So she'd be a mega hybrid, I guess, as far as she's a part of everything that is here with a sentient person, thing that she's bringing, because she is sentient. And those who are connected deeply to the earth begin to have those things come to them more and more and more. And I think I talked about before that, that beetle is an expression that a star being comes and wants to understand what that expression is of that beetle and everything about that beetle, how it lives. And I think the grandmothers were talking about even a mosquito. You could choose the expression of a mosquito and their complete life cycle. And part of that life cycle is there's going to be some human or some bird or something else that is going to be the reason that that mosquito transitions and goes on. So that's part of that expression, is a mosquito dying, which is a part of the human expression as well. And it's not dying, it's just changing energy. So
every time
Incredible.
we interact with another being, then that's a marker on our energetic resonance for our consciousness. And that's how other entities can see exactly what we've been through and our memories and all of that stuff, because it's all recorded. in different parts, like a huge tapestry. Only it's, it's easy for us to view it as one string, but we have all of the, every time, every interaction that you've had with any consciousness is all on there in their linear expression, in my interpretation. But that's how they know, oh, well, you used to treat animals poorly and you've learned better because they can see that in your energetic field. It's automatically opened up to them
Mhm.
and they can grasp it all at once and much more.
Mhm.
But it just freaks us out because, I mean, we still get freaked out that they know what we're thinking and stuff like that. They've tapped into our memories and they
Mhm.
remember more about it than we do.
Mhm.
I
So,
when the whites were talking, they said something that gave me the impression they were reading into our fields or something, or reading, was it maybe to see how we have reacted to the interaction with them or something? Did you get any impression?
Well, I mean, everybody, when they first came in and they were so choppy and they were so abrupt, they asked everybody in the group if they could have permission to tap into their memories and their being to help give them perspective and to formulate how they were going to go about accomplishing their goal of making humans aware of them and then letting humans accept them and have
mhm.
the humans think that it's their acceptance. They
Mhm.
said we're going to dictate how humans ease into us, not how we
Mhm.
ease into humans.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because once we hit open contact, we'll be able to sense their energy resonance.
Mhm.
We'll know they are there. They can't hide from us just because the energy differentials are so great.
Did you sense that they were reading our fields tonight, trying to gauge anything?
They always do.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you have given them permission, then they
I
are
don't think
going.
I was there for that one. I
I
don't
don't
think
think
I,
so. They might not be doing yours, but if you want to, grant it.
well, I
Mhm.
mean, I'm fine either way. I was wondering why they would even ask for permission. Don't these beings just naturally read each
No,
other?
it's all they're extremely courteous
Mhm.
because that is the way of the loving energy. You don't
Mhm.
impede on anyone else's turf, you might say, or interfere in anything that they have because any interaction is going to change both parties.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
they're not going to change you in those ways unless you consciously agree to it.
Oh, well, I thought you were saying that people get freaked out because they can read their minds and their history, and um, that just sounded like they were just doing it naturally versus
Well, I mean, and other
asking
beings
permission.
may be different,
Oh,
but
okay. So that's
they are
not
not.
okay.
Mhm.
In my experience, I mean, they want us to know that we have given permission. That's
Mhm.
important for them for some reason. Now,
Mhm.
other beings, they know, like the Greys, we have permission from our soul group, so they can come down and they can pick us up and they can have experiments with us and then put us back. But from the human aspect, we might not know that. But
Mhm.
we've still given permission, it's just on another level. And they want to operate on giving us the respect of this consciousness form that we have that control. They are not coming in to intimidate us. They are not taking advantage of us. So if we say, no, you're not going to do that, they will say, thank you.
Mhm.
We honor your request.
Mhm.
That's very considerate.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And that's how that's just how they wish to handle how this unfolds.
It's a
They don't.
breath of fresh air because, in this spiritual community and all that we've learned, so much is decisions that have been made on a different level that we are completely unaware of. And we're just like, Jesus, why would I, like we wouldn't agree to that, but our higher selves, I guess, have. And there's so much that feels out of our control. So this is
Mhm.
just so nice that they are coming to our level here. Because that's few and far between, it feels like these days.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I don't feel any of it's out of my control. I know that I created all, so it's all under my control.
Mm-hmm.
Angie, when you talked about how you were thinking about how source creates, and that reminded you, that gave me a very good understanding. So I just wanted to thank you
Oh,
for that.
thank I'm so glad because that is such a cool thing to contemplate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Yeah.
It does feel like the micro of the macro kind of thing, like a reflection
Right.
of
Right.
so it's really neat. Cool. I'm glad you grasped that then because I
Yeah.
didn't know if it
Yeah.
was just a writer babbling on.
Oh, well, no, I mean, um, I resonated with it, and it gave me a deeper understanding of, oh yeah, so that's what it's like. So
Hmm.
thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for letting me know.
Very interesting discussion. Thank you very
Mhm.
much.
Very interesting.
Appreciate all you ladies. You're wonderful.
You're not so bad yourself, Ray.
Why, thanks. I've been practicing.
It shows. Yeah, they're great energy. It's funny though, because I was just expecting them to be lecturing us on all of our attachments because we have so many down here. And it was a completely different lesson.
Yeah, and they're only doing what's necessary, and they really don't care what we do outside of what they wish to have our encounters with them to be like. They could care less. It's like we would not care what kind of shoes someone happens to choose for this particular day in another country that we don't know. Yeah, it might be important to them, but I mean to those individuals, but for us, we could care less. We have enough stuff to focus on. I mean, we're only absorbing 10% or less of everything in our environment as it is. We're not going to worry about something that's not even in our more relevant environment, I will say. And that's what it is to them.
Have you gotten any more insight on what their book's going to be about?
Not yet. They are patiently waiting, I will say. They want the
Mm,
hybrid children book to get done first. And they want
How
me to,
is that going?
it's going
mhm,
pretty well. I heard, the editor took his first pass and he came back with his ideas and
Mhm.
ideas on revision and questions for clarification and that kind of stuff. And, the
Mhm.
usual punctuation and word flips and whatever else. But And the tall whites also want me to get my 3D life squared away because once I start, it will just keep going. That's the impression that I have. And
Mhm.
they are just going to machine gun this thing. And they say, we know you are going to take the physical steps necessary to get the transcripts in their authentic form. And we're just going to give them to you.
Wow.
And some of the sessions might go 3 hours. They might
Uh-huh.
just be giving it. And I'm assuming, and I don't know if this is true or not, but it's not going to require a whole lot of editing because they're
mhm.
going to say what they want to say in the order they want to say it and give the examples that they want.
Mhm.
That's nice.
I know. It's
I would
fast.
love to do a project like that. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that's what Seth did with Jane Roberts.
Mhm.
He would say end of dictation, and then a couple days later he would pick up again and he would start on the very next sentence. He didn't miss any steps, and her husband Robert Butts just took everything down in his own shorthand, and then they would type them up.
Mhm.
And all of the punctuation was there, all of that stuff. He would tell them
Mhm.
what to underline,
Mm,
and sometimes he would have pauses of 2 or 3 minutes. And, he explained in some of them, he's like, no, those are the times that I'm speaking with you on an energetic level.
Mhm.
because he
Wow.
never stops communicating. He's talking to us in between the words, he would say.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And that's one of the entities that I had come through. They said, the only reason it's verbalized is so that you realize you've received the message, and you can attribute it to the vocalization when it's really all just energetic.
Mhm.
Only this makes
what
you
I'm waiting
believe
for.
that you've gotten it.
That's
Mhm.
what I'm waiting for, when there's less talking and just more absorbing.
Mhm.
Good luck with me around. You're gonna wait for less talking.
Well, something will shut you up eventually, I'm sure.
Naps usually work as far as
I mean, but something will come that will grab
Mhm.
you, that you will be still and silent and long enough to hear it. I mean, I can't imagine something powerful of the universe that you would just say, shut up, let me say. I mean, come on, Ray. You wouldn't disrespect the universe.
I'm all about paying attention. That's how I got in this position.
I think we know when to speak and when not to. At least I do.
I think that's up for debate. Not for you, for me. I may be a work in progress, like the rest of us.
Mhm.
And thank you all